Hello everybody. So now let us see the fourth experiment on demonstration of two data centers with the one host each. Okay, so there's a fourth experiment we'll be looking after today. So on this CloudSim, it is something like this. So where we'll have to create two data centers, and every data center should have a separate host, and you can place the respective VM on the host based on the requirement. As usual, so you'll be having two cloudlets, and every cloudlet has to be assigned to the respective VM based on the requirement that will be carried out by the broker. So that's the problem statement where we'll be creating the two data centers and one host on each. So even before this, we had the previous experiment, something like creating a two hosts on a single data center and assigning the respective cloudlet to the VM. Even before that, we had the two VMs on the same host, and two cloudlets have been assigned to the respective VMs by the broker. So the videos related to it, so where we have in my channel, you can like get into that CloudSim Example 2 and CloudSim Example 3. So you can please go through those videos for a complete explanation. So today in this experiment, I'll be talking about the advance of CloudSim experiment to satisfy the fourth requirement. Okay, here practically speaking, so when you see here, like in the third experiment, we had the single data center, we created the two hosts and the two VMs, and VM2 has more capacity compared to the VM1 and all that, right? So now when you see the fourth experiment, current one, this one, so if you see this is more apt to related to the second experiment, which is where it have the single data center, single host, and the VM. So if you replicate this, how it is going to happen? That is what we are going to see today. Okay, directly let me take you guys to the program. So in the program, yeah. So instead of I copy paste the third experiment, I'll copy paste the second experiment. So the second experiment is all about yeah, second experiment. So which I'll make it as the fourth one, which is the CloudSim example 4. So you can see the requirements of your experiment also, where you need to have a two data centers and one host, all that, right? So this is where I'm creating a single data center. So as of your second experiment, so if you see here, what I'll do, I'll just copy paste this sentence itself, and for your differentiation, I'll make this as a data center 1 and this is a data center 2. Only the change which I'll be doing. So as such, for creating one more data center. So in the method of create data center, you can observe, yeah, right here, the MIPS, which is 1000 is set and one host is created. The respective characteristics have been set, and this is where the data center is created. See, nothing, I'm not going to change anything in the create data center method, because as I'm calling the same method, which is create data center method, for two times, so it is almost saying that two data centers have been created. So practically what is happening in the sense, first time when you call the create data center method, what is happening? A data center is created and that host is created, right? And as I'm calling once again the same create data center method, so second data center is created and second host is being created, right? So that's how. So I'm creating the two data centers. Later, as usual, I have created the two VMs here with the same MIPS, and every specification is common. So there is no change. Even the two cloudlets have been created, and those two cloudlets and two VMs have been submitted to the respective broker right here, and the assignment is also done. It's the same 6 steps whatever we have discussed in the previous experiments, the same thing which is followed. Only additional thing is that I'll be calling the create data center method for twice to create two different data centers, right? So now let me directly take you guys to the execution without a delay. Now you can observe what is the MIPS we have set for the host. In the sense, it is 1000. So as the MIPS for the host is set for 1000, the MIPS of VM cannot be 2000. So definitely I can make it as 200. Okay. So if I make it as 200 and let me run this. Yes, guys, you can observe run now. You can observe, so two VMs have created, VM1 and VM2, but both the VMs have been assigned to the data center 1 itself. Can you observe here? Both the VMs have been assigned to the same data center, where the data center ID is 2, right? That's what you can observe here. Both the VMs are, both the VMs have the same capacity, So both the VMs are taking the same time, which is starting at the same time, ending at the same time. But one point is that both the VMs are working on the same data center. Why it is happening in the sense? It is quite simple reason that in order to understand that, see this. What is the MIPS you have set for the host? It is the 1000, is it not? You have set the MIPS capacity is what? 1000 MIPS. As you have set the MIPS for the host is 1000, and here you are setting the MIPS for your VM as 200. So even for working for the two VMs, 200 plus 200, you need only 400 MIPS. So both the VMs can be easily work on the same host. That is what happening here. Both are working on the same data center. For your differentiation, what I will do in the sense here, instead of 200, I'll say it as 600. So MIPS for each VM, I'm setting as 600 MIPS. Okay, MIPS for each VM is 600. Now you see the difference. As the MIPS for the first VM is 600 and the MIPS for the second VM is also 600, totally you need 1200 MIPS. But what is the capacity of first host? It is only 1000. So what is happening? One VM is running on the data center with the ID 2 and the second VM is running on the data center with the ID 3. The time may be taking same because the MIPS of both the VMs are same. But what is the difference you can find? VM1 is running in the different data center, VM2 is running in the different data center. That you can also understand from these sentences. VM2 cannot be assigned on the same host because of the MIPS. Because first VM is already assigned on the host 1 with the which consumed 600 MIPS out of 1000 MIPS. So rest of the MIPS only 400 MIPS is available. So VM2 cannot be assigned because VM2 also requires 600 MIPS, but available is only 400 MIPS in the host. So VM2 cannot be assigned on the VM host 2 itself. So what is happening? VM1 is created on the data center 2, whereas VM2 is on the data center 3. Then process. So at what time it started, at what time is ended, it's the same story. So finally, what matters here? Time taken may be same because the MIPS of both the VMs is same, but both the VMs are not running on the same data center. They are running in the different data centers, right? That's the fourth experiment for you with slight change. Only change in your code is that where calling this method, which is create data center for 2 times, because you have to create the 2 data centers with the 2 different hosts. Okay, that's it. I hope you understood. Thank you.